equation of a line. Let's look at how to work out an equation of a line. The formula you need to know to remember how to work out the equation of a line is y equals mx plus c. Okay, I'm just going to sort this x out here. Okay, so you might want to know what the certain letters represent. Well, C represents the y-intercept. That means where your graph crosses the y-axis, and I'm going to write that down. Crosses the y-axis, and M here represents the gradient. Okay, so that's what you need to remember. You need to remember y equals mx plus c, and normally your straight line graph is always of that format, the equation of the line, isn't it? Like you could have y equals 2x plus 1, y equals 5x minus 4, and so on. Okay, so let's have a look at working out some equations of lines. So the first here example that I've got is a graph here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write y equals mx plus c down. Well, I need to work out the gradient first because I need to replace the m with the gradient. So again, pick 2 points on your graph, pick 2 coordinates that have to lie in your graph. I'm going to draw myself a triangle here. Well, remember the gradient. I'm going to write that down this side here so we don't get confused. Gradient is change in y divided by change in x. Well, the y here, the difference between 2 to 5 is 3 and the x is 1. So I'm going to do 3 divided by 1, which is 3. I know my gradient is positive because my graph's going uphill. So I'm going to do y equals 3x. Now I need to replace the c with where my graph crosses the y-axis. Well, this is the y-axis. And I'm just going to highlight it. Well, the graph crosses the y-axis here at number 2. So I'm going to write plus 2. And that's the equation of my line. Y equals 3x plus 2. Let's have a look at another example then. Let's do this one here. Okay. So again, I'm going to write down y equals mx plus c first. We need the gradient because we need to replace m with the gradient. So gradient, remember, is change in y divided by change in x. Pick 2 coordinates, picking this one and this one. Draw my triangle. The x difference here is 1 and the y difference is also 1. So I'm going to do 1 divided by 1, which is just 1. It's positive gradient because the graph's going uphill. So that means y equals 1x. And then my graph crosses the y-axis up at number 4. So it's plus 4. Now, I could write this as y equals x plus 4. That would be better because we normally don't write the number 1 in front of the x, do we? Therefore, it's better to just write it as y equals x plus 4. Let's have a look at another example then. Let's have a look at this one. Let's run a negative example now with the negative gradient. So again, I'm going to write y equals mx plus c to start off with. I need to work out the gradient, which is change in y divided by change in x. Okay, pick 2 coordinates, picking that one and this one here. Draw my triangle. The difference between 1 and 3 is 2. The difference there is just 1. So my gradient is 2 divided by 1, which is 2. But look, the graph's going downhill. Therefore, the gradient is negative 2. So y equals minus 2x. Well, where does my graph cross the line cross the graph on the y-axis at number 5? So it's plus 5. And that is the equation of my line. Let's have a look at another example. We'll do this one here. So again, we're going to write y equals mx plus c. We need m, which is a gradient. Change in y divided by change in x. Okay, pick 2 coordinates, this one and this one here. Going to draw my triangle. The difference between the x is 1 and the height there is 4. So I'm going to do 4 divided by 1, which is 4. But however, remember the graph's going downhill, so it's going to be negative gradient. Oops. So that's going to be minus 4. Let's zoom back in so you can see. Okay. So I've got y equals minus 4x. Now, which number does my graph cross the y-axis at? Well, it's at 8 there. So plus 8. And that's how you work out the equation of a line. You need to remember y equals mx plus c, and you also need to have knowledge of how to work out the gradient for you to work out the equation of a line. I hope this was useful for you. Thank you for watching.